Today we will deploy the model on the Amazon EC2. So for this, we have to sign into the AWS Management Console. So in order to deploy the model into Amazon EC2, first we will have to be familiar with this Amazon Web Service dashboard. So sign up and make an account if you have not previously make it. So for the reference, you can use any video. So where the sign in options are done. So once it is done, you have signed into the console. So after successful registration, search for EC2 in the search bar and click on launch instances. And here we will use the free tier, so which gives us the Linux box with a 2 GB of RAM. We will select the Amazon Linux 2 AMI. After that, you will continue the setup as per the default settings using a T2.micro instance and click on review and launch. Like here it is given the review and launch here. Right? So upon selecting this launch button, you will have to select a key pair. Right, so you can create your own new key pair. So after the successful creation of this key pairs, you can simply download them into your local system, but just remember that you will have to save them as a PEM file. Right, you can name them anything. Here I am using EC2 model deployment. So now you have to navigate back to the EC2 instance page the same way by searching this EC2 on the search bar and then click on the instance that you have just launched. Right, so once it is done, so you will come back there. Right, so after reaching there on the EC2 instance that you have just launched, go to this security box here. Right, click on the security tab and over there you can find a link like this, and in the next page you will find added inbound rules. So click on add traffic, some added the rules like this, clicking anywhere using this CIDR block and then saving this rules. The next step is to set up the putty for deployment. So for this you can download and install the putty and then open the puttygen from the Windows. So after that, the PAM file that we have just downloaded in the previous slides, it needs to be loaded. Like here we will load that PAM file. So keep in mind that you will have to keep all the files in the same directory. Otherwise it will be challenging to connect to the right EC2 instance in the AWS. So you have loaded that PAM file and then you can just save this private key after loading this and save it using the .ppk extension. That is, you can say file name .ppk format. So once it is done, you will have to set up WinSCP. So for this, we will have to download this WinSCP. Just remember that all at the time of installation, it should be a typical installation and the user interface style should be selected as Commander. So once it is done, you will have to provide the host name to the WinSCP. Now to get that host name, go back to the EC2 instance, click on connect there, and then after this click on SSH client, and then here you will find your host name. Just pass this host name to the WinSCP block, and then you will be able to enter the username and then click on advanced options. So in this advanced options, click on authentication, and in the authentication, the private key file, there will be a 3 dots here. Right, so in this 3 dots you will have to select the ppk file that was created. I remember the ppk file that you have just created, file name.ppk. Just load that file, click on open that, and then OK. After that, you will get this browse. Here say yes. So in case you face any error, please look at the username, because normally the usernames are Ubuntu, CentOS, root or admin, in case you are facing some error. So once it is done, you will have to drag and drop the necessary files. So you have got this EC2 user, then you will upload the app file, pickle file, requirements.txt and some templates files, right? Now this is done. Now we will have to install the required libraries in the server, because one issue is that in the server most of the libraries are not yet installed, so we will have to manually install all the libraries. So in order to do so, first open the putty, paste the host name, right? You have just got the host name in the previous slides, if you remember. So just paste that host name here and give a session name. So for example, you can give the session name as ML demo test, and then click on SSH, and in this SSH box you will find this auth function here. Click on browse here. Here feed the ppk file. You remember the file name .ppk that you have just saved. So click on that and then open it. Now you can see that you are able to access the terminal of that particular Linux server. So you will have to pass on the username and you will see yourself logged into the server. So here I have given EC2 user, and then I am able to do so. And now just use this command sudo yum install python 3 pip. So we shall be able to log in there. Now in order to deploy the model, we will have to create a security group, because by now we have our EC2 instances, so we will have to set up EC2 instance accessible from anywhere. So for doing this, we will have to create a security group. So after this, we will create some inbound rules. Select on inbound rules, add the rules like all traffic anywhere 0000 CIDR block here. Then after doing this, we will have to set up the network interface. So for this, go to this network interface, right click on this network interface, and after right clicking, select this change security groups. Next step is set up the system dependencies. So by now we need to go back to the terminal, install the system dependencies in order to deploy our model. So for this, we will have to run the command pip3 install our requirements.txt. After running this command, we can see that system dependencies has been successfully installed. So after the successful installation, run the command python3 app.file. So we can now see that our app is running on port number 5000. So we want to deploy to the EC2. So as a final step, we will have to go back to the EC2 instance in the AWS management console. From the instance, go to the EC2 instance, click on connect, and then we should be able to see the URL here, and we simply need to add the port number. So here port number is 5000, so we will copy this URL. Adding the 5000 with this URL, we can be able to deploy the things. So we should when we will apply this URL and then #5000, we will see that our model is live on Amazon Elastic Compute Cloud. Okay, thank you.